All right, moving on to our next game. All right, it is Star Raiders time. This is going to be our very first Atari home computer game that we've ever checked out. This is the very first one. There was some other games that came out before, but a lot of the games we showcase on the channel are games that got a little bit of love. So any game that's so obscure that I can't even find artwork or screenshots for, we do not showcase. So this is the very first Atari home computer game we've played on the channel. This is Star Raiders. I'm loving the sound effects already. It's like we're in space. Let's take a look at the artwork for Star Raiders. There it is. So this is for the Atari 400 or 800. At the time, Atari released two models of their home computer, the 400 and 800. This is Computer Adventure Star Raiders. Contains one cartridge for use with the Atari 400. So this is Atari's home computer. This is out of the first three we have ever seen, the Commodore PET, the TRS-80, and the Apple II. This is the next home computer that we've showcased on the channel. So Atari now is going for home computer range. Go Atari. They're killing it in the arcades and at home, so why not? Oh, here he goes. He explains how to play it. So there's the example of the Atari 400 and the Atari 800 where you put the cartridge in. And yes, it uses a cartridge, just like the Atari 2600. Oh, and we had a story. A state of war exists between the Atarian Federation and the Xylon Empire. Your mission is to destroy all Xylon starships in sight. Star Raiders features 4 mission skill levels for 1 player. Ooh. And we got the cartridge. There we go. Cartridge. And it uses the joystick. Same joystick you would use at the home Atari, you get to use for your home computer. There is the disc. So it also came in disc. We're going to be playing the cartridge version, I hope, of Star Raiders. And just like with any other home computer, there is a gamble. Some of these games could run or could not run. So we'll be prepared for that. Here we go. This is the Star Raiders manual showing us how to insert the cartridge on our home computer and tells us which systems it plays. Cool artwork on the side. I love that. And then after table of contents, it gives us the introduction. Congratulations, you're now part of the elite unit of Atarian Starship Fleet, the Star Raiders. And it tells us our mission. Oh, there we go. It shows us some artwork of the Xylon Fighter, Xylon Cruiser, the Base Star. And the strategy of the Xylons is simple yet clever. They will avoid contact unless provoked. While engaging you in battle, the rest of the Xylon fleet will be surrounding and destroying friendly star bases. Now, this whole story that we're reading, we always get this on the home computer. Anytime it's part of a console or arcade, the story is maybe a sentence or two. But this one's already going into lore of what the Star Raiders are and the enemies, telling you about them. During your battle, you'll be concerned only with the enemy craft. You're occupying the sector you're currently in. Although you have the ability to hyperwarp to any sector at any time, when you destroy an enemy starship with one of your photon torpedoes, Star Trek reference, that starship stays destroyed for the remainder of the mission. And a photon torpedo burst is a burst of concentrated energy. It completely destroys a target upon impact. And we heard from the chat, Chiptune Chronicle says, I think this was ported to the 2600 as well and had a special keypad controller for it. Oh, awesome. So this is possibly the original. We haven't seen this on the home console yet, but we will. As a word of caution, beware of the meteors flying through space, which you will observe during your mission flights. And when your shields go up. Okay, I think I am familiar with this on the Atari 2600. And if that's the case, this is a very complicated game for the time. So you can see here we have star bases we can go to, and then the longer we play, the rating or rank you receive on each mission depends on how well you develop your skills in space. So you start on novice, and then when you get tougher, you can work your way up to pilot, warrior, and commander. So they're giving us different skill levels. Star Raiders is a dynamic game full of depth and detail. It's absolutely essential for you to read these instructions carefully. We didn't read them that carefully. And acquaint yourself with the basic operations of the game and using the joystick before you start playing. Then after each mission, you'll know more about the important aspects of gameplay, and the depth of the game will become more apparent for you. I think that is the very first time we've read an instruction manual that was telling us to pay attention to what is on the instruction manual. The very first one. So there you go. There's the different difficulty levels. And then using the classic Atari joystick, one button, is telling us how to fly the ship. And we got two different views. Wow, this is probably the most in-depth Atari game we played. And it says, becoming commander will take quite a bit of flight time. Good luck, the galaxy awaits you. So mission objectives in space are fivefold. Primarily, your mission is to destroy all Xylon starships without allowing them to destroy your starship, or with as little damage as possible to your spacecraft. Your secondary objectives are to complete the mission in as little time as possible, with minimal energy expended, and without allowing friendly star bases to be destroyed. And then it's explaining how to begin play. And you can see here it's going to be using the control or the keyboard of the computer. And you can see here we got the different view with A. Your galactic chart is G. And we have different places we can fly to. Oh, wow. And this is halfway through the manual, ladies and gentlemen. The most in-depth manual we've seen at this point. And we have seen examples of space flight or combat flight simulator games for other arcade and things of that nature. But this is taking it to the farthest level we've seen. I mean, look at this. We have a star date. We have hyperwarp engines. We have a map of the galaxy. And it's still going on. How to do long-range scans. And you have missions now in the game. Manual target selector when you hyperwarp, and then all the commands, because it's almost opening up all the controls you have at a home computer, which is different than the console. We now have the whole keyboard, so it's using it. We got M, S, T, and then they have a warning to use only certain modes from only certain modes for experienced pilots. Yeah, so this one would take a lot of practice back in the day. And we heard from the chat, Chiptune Chronicles is saying how game manuals are not the same, and it's so great looking at this paper manual. And that's one of the reasons I do it. I love it too. I love to see what was in the game at that time. And the other reason is, as we're going game by game of every game, a lot of these games I'm not familiar with. And so getting a look at the manual, it helps me familiarize what we're going to expect when we play the game. And there we go. It even has, when you do attacks, there is an attack computer display of what to look at and how to do attacks when the Xylon forces are coming. And there we go. We got energy usage. So if you don't go to a star base, you're going to run out of energy for photons, shields, using your computer or life support, and then how to dock with the system. This is fantastic. And there you go. Depending on how well you do, it's your score, and that determines the rank you'll get. And then they explain the skill level descriptions. This is awesome. And they even include a little bit of artwork too. So this is explaining whatever difficulty you're on, which mission you'll be a part of. We're going to be starting on Novice. So let's see, Simplified Novice. We want to see, okay, so it's showing you, when we play Novice, we'll use the select button to bring up the Novice mission on the screen. Then press Start, and we can use S and C to bring up shields or the computer. G is the galactic chart. And then press F for our front view, and then engage the hyperwarp with H. So we have to remember all these commands to just play the Novice, the easy version. And then you find an enemy target in a sector, focus on it, then use photon torpedoes and destroy them, and move on to another enemy sector and repeat until, let's see, if one of the star bases is surrounded, you got to go help them out. This is awesome. And then it shows you the different difficulty levels for the other levels. All right. If everybody remembers all the controls, then let's do it. Here we go. This is November 1979. We're playing Star Raiders on our Atari. Let's say we got the high-end model. We're playing on the Atari 800. There we go. We want to play the Novice mission of Star Raiders. And then on my side here, let me switch camera view. If you look over on the far side over there, there's the example of what you would see on the console. You push, system reset, option select, start. All that is on the computer. Sorry, not console. But we're still going to be using an Atari controller. All right, so first thing we want to do is we want to start. So pushing start is going to be there. So we're playing the Novice mission now. I have my Atari joystick in hand, and as I move, it feels like I'm flying through space. And like they explained before, I want to put shields up. Yep, shields are on, and I want to get, it's also showing my energy. All the stats are down at the bottom, and I want to go to the galactic chart, and it's showing my location as the blip in the middle. And what you do is you fly You want to do hyperspace to where hyperwarp engaged. And then now it's complete. You can see where we now warp to this sector. So I want to get to this one. Let's get rid of our galactic chart. So here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit the reset button on accident, so we've started from the beginning. But from here, can we go back to the main view? Oh, it's A. That's right. That's the aft view. That's the front view. And then we want to do galactic chart. And I want to see, can I warp to here? There we go. So if I use the hyperwarp, does it warp me to that spot? Oh, a little bit off. But let's see. We go to front view. And then can I get myself in that direction to where we can shoot? And I push the only button on there, and it says, "What's wrong?" It means that I have some power. Oh, I used up all my energy. So now my ship is stuck in the middle, and then I get smashed by an asteroid. Oh, and then there it goes. Starfleet to all units. Yeah, Star Cruiser 7, yeah, we already died. So out of the ship that we saw on our galactic chart, it already blew us up. All right, so let's do a reset. Put our shields up this time. And now let's go to the galactic chart, and let's see if we can warp to, how about an asteroid field here? And engage hyperspace. Now, I have never played this game on the Atari 800. So as the reason I'm able to know what to do is just because I looked at the manual to see what's what we're doing. Oh, did I run out of energy again? I think I wasted it all going too far. I need to get to a star base faster. But I can shoot my bullets, or sorry, photon torpedoes out. And how do I move forward? Go forward. I think I ran out of energy. No, I still have plenty of energy. Let's try it again. We'll do galactic chart. Let's try to here. I want shields on and hyper warp engaged. All right, I'm there. Front view. All right, I'm ready. Where's the enemy? Where's the Xylons? I feel like Atarians and Xylons were copied a lot, like in other games after this. This is the first time we've heard Atarians and Xylons, but it sounds like something we're going to hear a lot of later, especially within Atari. All right, we'll break from that one. There is so much depth in this game. This is probably the largest, biggest game we've played on the channel so far. And just keep in mind, it's 1979. So this one, out of 5 stars, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a big 5. One of the best things you could play at home. Really sink your teeth into and play and have fun. Wanting to get better and learn more strategies. This is fantastic for the time. I'd say this is the best home computer game at the time. They went out of the park with that. All right, moving on to our next game. Yeah, so it looks like we're checking out some of the titles, the first titles for the Atari home computer. Oh, the first Atari home computer. This is Video Easel, and if it's what I think it is, it might just be a drawing program, and we're not really going to spend time with applications, but let's see what we're working with. Images for Video Easel. Is it drawing? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it looks like just a drawing program. Do we have different versions? We might. Let's see if we can boot it up and see what happens. It is November 1979. We're playing our Atari home computer. And here we go. So this is Video Easel. Can I do a quad drawing? Does it work? It does. Oh, did I push the wrong one? Quad drawing? Quad. Yeah, so it's just a drawing program. So we'll move on from this because it's more of an application, not really a game. So we'll go ahead and give this one out of 5 stars. We're going to give it 0 because as far as what it does as a game, no. 0 for Video Easel.